Okay, so what's going on is there is a container on Manifest which is all taped up, but it's got a red light on it, which is different to all of the other containers, like this one, for example. So, which means that this container can be opened somehow, because otherwise it's a pointless gimmick. However, there are more clues to suggest that there's definitely something inside this because of this. And I'll explain exactly why. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to respawn with a torch on my... I'm going to respawn with a flashlight on my gun, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, because you'll be interested to see this. Let me just see if I've got a flashlight on this. Yeah, I have. So there's got to be something inside this container that is hidden Easter egg, and I think it's going to be one of these time travelers graffiti tags inside here, which is more of a clue maybe. So what we want to do is listen up. So I'm just going to put the flashlight on my gun. So what I'm going to show you here is that all of the static objects on this map are placed to a grid, so they don't cross over. The seams don't cross over. Mind you, you're not really going to see it. For example, you see these two edges, you can see the seam between the two items perfectly in line with each other. Again, all three containers here, all perfectly in line, so they're placed. And the editor that they use, the Frostbite editor, automatically snaps the objects to each other, so they don't overlap. However, there's an anomaly here. First things first, there is a container under here which is nothing more than what appears to be it appears to be like some sort of ammo crate with some rope around it or some straps over it underneath, okay? Which suggests to me that something is underneath those, because the actual height of those are only sort of this big, so you can actually crouch underneath those if they are lifted up to the height of this container. So we look back at this container, and it's attached to another container, but the seams are covered. They've literally covered the seams up, and here, that there is a secondary door, so this is a hollow container. And these doors are on added separate objects afterwards to fill the hole in. So there's something inside here, and even more to the point, to allow you to walk from the back container into this container and then underneath here, look at the seams. So basically the seams are they're not snapped to the grid like every other container on the map. So these two containers are physically manipulated and moved by the person that's created this map. So we should be able to get into this container and then into this container, and all of these sides to this container here are false. It's not a solid object. There's basically one side, two sides, three sides, but there probably isn't a side on that side of the container, but we can go underneath those things. So how the friggin' hell do we open it is the question. There's got to be a way somehow. I mean, I'm wondering if we can sort of clip the camera through the wall somehow, or I don't know. We'll see. There's got to be somewhere in there. And I've noticed, I mean, I'm just wondering whether we have to flick a switch somewhere hidden in another container, maybe nearby. So,
Hostiles are trying to seize one of our objectives.
I'm wondering if there's somewhere where we can access using these moving containers that we normally wouldn't be able to access. Like, for example, if it pushes you through, that's a good idea. I'm going to get my K. Get that grappling hook, and then I'll go back to the I'll go back to row after. You see, that container's now been moved from here, and we can now see that the seams are not in line because they've been pushed together to allow access from one container into another. So there is definitely a way to get inside this, because I don't believe, I mean, this this container has, I mean, it doesn't even, I mean, the seams are just not right. There's no, basically the container's been added and then it's been moved like for 4 or 5 pixels in, so there's no glitchy effect. So, because usually with Frostbite Engine, when you go inside a container like this, like for example if you make your own map or edit the maps, and it's the same with the other games, Battlefield 4 especially, and even more so in Battlefield 3, you can go in and if they back, it will make everything else on the map invisible. All of the objects just vanish, so you can just see the terrain. So it's actually a bug in the engine. It's just been there ever since Frostbite was ever created. I don't think it's ever been fixed, and I don't think it can be fixed, otherwise it would have been fixed. But this has been moved to hide that glitch and allow access through this container into this container and then underneath that container. And now this container's just been lifted up and moved to over here. We'll follow that track and follow the route. So that same container has been moved to, shit, where's that gone then? Does it just put it on the top? Oh, wrong one. Where is that container gone? That container has been moved. Oh, I think it's this one. think it's this one. And now that container's moving. So I'm just wondering if there's a pattern to how the containers move that allows you to then get access to somewhere that we normally can't get access. And I think it, if anything, it's going to be... You see there's manhole covers in the ground as well, and I'm just wondering if you can get pushed through one of those, or one can be broken or something stupid. So after this one moves to wherever, that one's going to get picked up again and put back down next to the door. And these props have been put on top of that container there as well. If you look at that container, that's also a three-sided container. So it's possible that you can go in through this container here into the second container and then access like a room maybe which is the size of two containers. What I'd like to do is try and glitch through the bottom of the map to see if the actual terrain is dipped underneath, or if there's a hole in the actual static object pavement. Okay, we're moving back. When this goes back to here, after about 2 minutes, maybe less than that, this one should come across and pick this container up and put it back down next to the door. And I think what I want to do is stand under that container when it drops and see what happens. It'll probably kill me, but... So I'm hoping that this one will start up now. So put that back down, leave it there. Okay. Otherwise, I reckon there could be just a hidden switch somewhere on the map. Rouse hacking armband thing, that doesn't hack all interact keys, it's just chosen ones. Like you can't do like the doors on the other containers that open and close and things like that, so I presume that's not the way to open it. I think there's an actual switch to unlock it somewhere. We really want this one to start moving and pick this container up now. And then I'm going to run back down there and see if it crushes me somewhere or something. Hopefully by the end of the night we're going to know for sure whether there's something in that container or not. We don't know what, we might not know what it is unless we find a way to open it, but we'll find some sort of way to see inside it. Even if I have to create a new DLL file for the Frosty editor to allow it to open the chunks for this map, and then I'll be able to scout through the files and I'll just brute force data mine the Easter egg if there is one. There's only so much time that I can spare in hunting Easter eggs. I know it spoils the fun and some people don't agree with it, but it sort of saves the waiting around and the a lot of people waste a lot of time sort of, I mean, for example, I think some guy on YouTube, he calculated that on Battlefield 4 when people trying to find the Megalodon Easter egg. Here we go. The Megalodon Easter egg. Let's go down here. Over 1 million hours combined from everybody to look for Megalodon. So that should bring it and drop it on my head. We hope. It's probably just going to kill me, but I just want to see if I can then use the death camera maybe. We'll find out. If anybody wants to join this, you can just go onto Portal and type in Time Traveller Easter egg, and there's a server up and running. If anybody wants to join, it's cross-platform as well. Next gen though. Here we go. Right. So if you just joined, quick explanation what's going on. This container is possibly open. You can probably open it somehow with a hidden switch maybe, or what's it called. So the thing that does bother me is that all these other containers that can be opened and closed, they don't actually close fully like that. And I don't know if there is any other containers that actually do, oh, like, see, it's not fully closed, but I presume there'll be I think what, hang on a second. See, if you notice that this green light doesn't change to red even when it's closed, but it doesn't close fully. So what we need to do is find a way to change the state of this light to go green, and the doors will open slightly, so when we come back to the container we can then interact with it to open it. But there's going to be something somewhere, I reckon, that's going to allow this. So I think what we should probably do is to start a hunt for hidden switches. Now, there are a lot of containers high up which are sort of half open, like here. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. See, if we notice that these are not seen together either, and it's just unusual. I mean, some of them are hand placed, some of them are snapped to grids, like these ones are all snapped. In fact, I would go as guess that these 6 containers here are actually, no, these 9 containers are all one static object. Yeah, 3 high, and then we've got that one there, and then 7-1. Interesting. Sorry guys, I'm just going to open the chat on my YouTube channel because I don't see the comments right now. Hang on. What's up, Collision? What happened to the beta radios? They're still there, I presume, unless they've changed of some sort. Let's do with the crane. Let's read that amazing BFH. Yeah. See, on Battlefield 4, we've got that container that goes down to that secret room, which was closed until 2142. Maybe it's something. It was on Operation Outbreak, that Easter egg, and that was going to be a way to get the Phantom Bow, but then it was just scrapped. But it was an underground laboratory and everything. I mean, Danny on PC got a good video of it. Underground lab rooms and science stations and stuff in there. Okay, so there's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. This one goes forwards and backwards with one container. Just gonna drop it down. There is it? No, just there. That goes back, and then this one starts up and brings it back again. What other interesting things we got in beta release? There's some graffiti been found inside a ship, which looks like the Shadow of Colossus, and it's on the ship Colossus. Apart from that, there's not really much. There's some interesting things on the radio stations that I've heard, like specialist forces that have been created in the past and stuff, and they've been genetically modified or something. These soldiers have, or something like that. And whether that's anything to do with anything, I don't know. But the rest of the talking on the radio is kind of legitimate storyline that we already know about, apart from this sort of genetically modified soldier. That is the only container with a light on it which is taped up. I'm curious.
Requesting transport drop on my marker.
Copy that. Vehicle support incoming.
Let's put a car in and see what happens when it lifts it. I've never done that. Why? Those are some pretty colours. Is there no way to glitch out of that as well, man? I mean, the camera, they've got the clipping on the cameras really good on this game. I mean, it's very hard to clip through walls and stuff like you could in, like, BF1 was the worst. I mean, Jesus, anybody can cheat in that game just because of the camera clipping. Now, what's going to happen to this? I think we're just going to have to wait for this, I think. It should be coming back to us in about a minute, if that. We'll see. We'll see. There's definitely something in that container. I don't see why they would overseam those two containers like that unless they are connected for access. I just don't see the point in it. It could be just an accident, but I doubt it. The rest of the map's too precise, and everything is snapped to grids and other objects. Snap to objects is being used. It's coming back now. I hope I don't get a copyright strike or anything for putting this radio music on, because it's been licensed to be in the game, so I don't see why. And I think they're the original composition, so I think they're license free now anyway because of their age. I'll keep the classical on just to be safe. I mean, some of the other tracks I haven't really ever heard, but they're going to be... Right, what's going to happen? I can't get in there any further. Beam me up, Scotty, come on. Hey, what? It's going somewhere else? Wait, no. Wait. No. Hey, what? Come back this way. I've never seen it do that before. Is it gonna? Yeah, it's coming. I don't really see the point in this, I just want to see what happens. See, I freaking knew it wouldn't work. No, there. You see how I managed to glitch through the object just then and see inside? Can't do that with this container because it's not hollow. It's got internal walls. It's got a wall on the inside and a wall on the outside. These containers on the left of me here have just got one wall, which is the outside, which you see it, because you're not supposed to see from the outside, from the inside to the out. So it suggests that the clipping on this container isn't allowing me because it's got a double wall to it. It's two vectors. I'm just going to go check out that okay, so lifted that container. I don't know where it put it. Let's put that one back over there. Does that one even work? Where's the music from? It's from the radio in the car. Right, let's just think outside the box for a second. Let's head on up here and go to this control center and see if there's any switches that don't really do much, and we'll keep checking that state. I just heard a Neebs whistle. That's the bird whistling that was used in Battlefield 1 for the Neebs Easter eggs. Same sound effect. I doubt it's going to be an Easter egg though. There's a lot of reused sound effects in this game, a lot. Even the lock-on sounds have been taken from Battlefield 3. See if I can hear it again. We've got the tornado starting over there. I wonder if the tornado has to rip the door open or something. It's not making landfall just yet. It's quite a way away. I don't even think that tornado is going to make it here this round. It doesn't look like it's coming this way. Right.
Allies attempting to seize Bravo 2.
Parkour lessons, Monday at 5 o'clock.
Our forces have taken an objective.
Fix crane beam scanners. Crane beam scanners. What the hell's a crane beam scanner? Dog. Let's have a look. The Ryzen line looks extremely familiar. One from the Time Travelers videos before. There is also a computer. Yeah, I wonder if they were actually a thing, those laser scanners. It's interesting. There is actually a computer screen on... which map is that on? It's on that bridge control room on... oh, freaking hell, what's the map called? The one with desert and the one with the green and the grow house. I can't remember its name anyway. Brain dead at the moment. But anyway, there's a computer screen in there, and the screen, it's the only screen that I've seen in the game so far that's like this, but it's got a glitched out screen which looks like a screenshot from the IRQ15 video. Don't know if you guys have seen that. When we get round to that map, I'll show you guys. But yeah, it's the one in Egypt. Crane beam scanners. I wonder if that's legit a thing in the game. I mean, you've got to remember that in like Battlefield 1, for example, on Fort de Vaux, those hidden switches behind the signs on the walls. So anything that protrudes from the wall like this thick, it could easily hide something behind it, you know? Is this the storage? No, it's outside. More parkour lessons. Must be just as popular in 2042. Okay. Crane beam scanners again. Crane beam scanners. Let's have a quick Google of a crane beam scanner, see what they kind of look like, because I freaking don't have a clue. Obviously they're laser beams that scan the freaking cranes, but crane beam scanner. Let's have a look. Crane beam scanner. Oh, that is the actual name of the actual cranes. That they're called scanners because they move like a flatbed scanner. They're on rails. Wholesale cranes with overheads. Crane beam scan. Crane beam scanners. Right. I've got an actual blueprint of a crane beam. Move boxes, rename old files. The cookie jar is empty. Sad face. Restock the fridge. Year planner. 2042. Hang on. Is there anything on this calendar anywhere? There's literally no markings on there. I wonder if there's any calendars anywhere with any markings. I've got to keep an eye on those at some point. Okay, so it is raining, but not heavy, and you can just hear the rain. Then in here, you can still just hear it, but listen. It's up there. Is there something leaking or something up here? Please stop preparing salads with the paper shredder. Brilliant. I'm sure somebody's done that. They really like post-it notes in 2042. I don't even have that many post-it notes in my office. Right. Okay, so this is the I don't know whether this is some sort of homage to GoldenEye or something, but it's all very similar. Thanks for the coffee. Login screen. Dog. Login screen. Login screen. Fix crane beam scanners.
How's it look? Caught in a holding pattern. No clear advantage.
I'm wondering if DLSS would actually help fix some textures that you can't read. Right, let's go and see where that storm is now. So it's got plenty of time to move here. Yeah, it's still over there. Okay, so there's nothing too exciting in this control center, really. We'll move on to the next control center, I think. Please change the storage RM light bulb. Do you know this, guys? This is the first Battlefield game that's been released in 10 years where it's got new static objects, new textures, new filters. It's basically it really is a brand new game. And I mean you look at like Battlefield 5, it's just a copy and paste of Battlefield 1. You look at Battlefield 4, it's a copy paste of Battlefield 3. And Battlefield Hardline, fair enough, it had a few new static objects and stuff, but no real new textures. It was sort of recycling stuff that was already in Battlefield 4 a lot, apart from soldier models and textures and stuff like that, fair enough. But this is like, in its entirety, a whole new game. There's very, very, very little that has been recycled in this game from the other games, unless you obviously in Portal using an older experience. But as for the all-out warfare mode and these maps, I haven't yet seen anything that has been recycled at all. Yeah, maybe these have been recycled and stuff like the plants and stuff, but I mean, that's fair enough. But I mean, everything else is like legit brand new stuff. Because I was really scared that we're going to get this game and it's just literally just like copy and pasted Battlefield 4 content with higher texture resolutions and things like that, but no, it's not. So I'm pretty impressed with it in that sense. It's nice that I've actually paid. You know, everybody pays a fair amount of money for this game because not everybody wants to get it on EA Play. Because to be fair, if you're going to be playing Battlefield and if you don't play many games like other games on EA Play, I don't. So it's actually cheaper for me to just buy the game in full and then have it forever, because after 2 years I'm still paying for this game and it works out pointless, and the game will probably be on sale anyway, so I'm really just paying just so I can play it on release now as it's new.
Bravo 1 under assault by Allied forces.
Okay, so fix crane scanners is something that we should probably think about.